Hi everyone, it's Jules. Welcome to Jules Reads. This is my weekly reading update, and today is Sunday, Mother's Day, May 12th. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. I'm not sure if I'll put this up today or tomorrow. I have a vlog I also want to post, so I'm not sure which one will come first. But let's get started. In these videos, I like to talk about the books that I finished this week, any books I'm currently reading, any ones I might want to add this week to reading, any books I might have hauled. I do have 2 that I bought this week. And then anything I watched on TV, as well as personal plans and what we have coming up. So let's get started with what I finished this week. I actually have 3. One is a very short story, so let's start with that one. And that is Stephen King's Quitters, Inc. It's in the Night Shift collection of short stories, and I loved it. I listened to it on audio, and it's narrated by Eric Roberts. So this is 30 pages in this mass market size book. I want to say the audio took me half hour. I really liked it. I want to listen to it again. Eric Roberts does a fantastic job. So Quitters Inc. is about, this guy runs into one of his friends in an airport, and they talk about how he quit smoking, and he's like, yeah, I saw this guy and he helped me quit smoking. It's the best thing I ever did in my life. And then so he decides he's going to do it. Well, there is some shady things happening with the whole not smoking, helping you not smoke, as you can imagine with Stephen King. And then the last word, I was just literally in my car driving, and I went, oh. I highly recommend that audio. If you like Stephen King, you'll love it. And then the other one I finished is 84 Charing Crossroad. Loved this. So this is a story, it's not a story, it's actually letters, true letters that were sent back and forth between Helen, I can't say it, Helene, not Helen, and between her, and it takes place in like the early 1950s. She's writing letters, lives in New York City, to a bookseller in London because she wants some rare British or English books to be sent to her. So she offers a certain price she'll pay for certain books. She sends them lists of what she wants. And then it just starts to be kind of a friendship between her and these booksellers at the bookstore in London. I really enjoyed this. So the book is all letters back and forth. And then I ended up watching the movie, which I also loved. They filmed it, I think, or made it in the 80s. It has Anthony Hopkins, and her name is blanking on me right now. But loved the movie as well. So this was a fun read. This is another short one. And then I finally finished Kendri. This is by Octavia E. Butler. This is my second book by her, and I really like her writing style. She is a science fiction writer, and this is about a woman who not voluntarily gets time travel back to, from 1976 back to the early 1800s onto a plantation. And she is a black woman, so obviously traumatic for her. I did want to see more in the book of their current life in the 1970s. I wanted more of that in there because the majority of this book does take place back in the early 1800s. And then I tried watching the TV show, and I think I watched maybe 3 episodes. It is so different than the book. I couldn't do it, and I just wasn't enjoying it. There was some major differences. One I will tell you is that in the show, her husband in the book is only her boyfriend, or her, not even her boyfriend. They had like a one-night stand. So it's not that relationship you're not invested in. So I don't know why they made that decision. I don't know. And then there's a major thing in the show that's not in the book. And I'm like, what? But love the book. I will definitely be reading more of Octavia E. Butler. And I read her other book, Dawn, and enjoyed that. That is part of a trilogy, which I have not continued on yet, but someday I will. And I really enjoyed this. What I'm currently reading is Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. I have not read Abby Jimenez before. I am not a rom-com reader. I like rom-com movies sometimes. I'm more on the dark side. Stephen King. But I'm really liking this. This is our book club pick for May, and I'm enjoying it. And Abby Jimenez is local here in Minnesota to us, and part of it is in Minnesota, which I like. And she's talking about a billboard in the beginning. I'm like, I think I know what billboard person she's talking about. If you live in Minnesota, you know. But she doesn't say it. It's different in the book. But I'm like, I bet that's what she based that on. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. I'm not very far into it, but I started that. And I always like to read a couple different books at the same time. So I think what I'm going to pick up is The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hell. I mentioned this last week as wanting to read that. So I have a kind of stack of my TBR here over here. I know nothing about this. I think it was self-published and people love it. And then on audio, I did DNF for now, Outlander on audio. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't getting on with it. And then I'm like, I have 30 hours of this? No. So that's when I did the Quitters Inc. on audio, finished that obviously really quickly. And then now I'm listening to Purgatory Ridge? It's by William Kent Krueger. It's the third in his Cork O'Connor series. It's a detective series and it takes place in Minnesota again, which I love. And I love William Kent Krueger, his writing. So that's the other one. So that's it for what I finished and what I'm currently reading. And then the two books that I bought this week, well actually I bought James and so did my husband. So we have 2 copies. But we are going to buddy read this together, him and I. One of his favorite books is Huckleberry Finn, which I just finished, and James is a retelling. I'm really bad at saying the authors' names on my channel. I need to get better at that. This is by Percival Everett. And I don't want to start this probably until June, maybe. I mean, maybe this would be a good, like, Juneteenth type read. But I've been stuck in the 1800s with a couple books, Huckleberry Finn, then Kendri. I'm like, I need to just read not from the 1800s right now. So I won't be picking this up for a few weeks, but bought this and so did my husband. He was going to get it from the library or Half Price Books and didn't have luck with either one of those. So he bought it as well so we can read it at the same time and discuss it. And then strictly a cover buy when I was at Barnes & Noble buying James is The Candy House by Jennifer Egan. I mean, look at that. It's like foiled and rainbowy, and really the spine is what caught my attention. And then I realized I didn't want to know anything about it. I've done that a few times. I don't want to know. I don't want to look on Goodreads. I just want to buy it. And I realized there's a first one, but I don't think you have to read the first one to understand this one. And it says, Biggs Boughton, a tech demigod on a first-name basis with the world, invents a new technology, Own Your Unconscious, which allows you to access every memory you've ever had and to share your own in exchange for access to the memories of others. Biggs's idea has seduced multitudes, but not everyone. In the world of Egan's spectacular imagination, there are looters who understand the price of taking a bite of the candy house. Egan introduced her characters, music producers, artists, gamers, a citizen spy in an astonishing array of narrative styles and with extraordinary tenderness, compassion, and humor. Intellectually dazzling, The Candy House is also a moving testament to the tenacity and transcendence of human longing for connection, privacy, and love between spouses, between parents and children, between siblings. I mean, that sounds great. So I bought that as well. Strictly a cover buy. Didn't know anything about it. All right, so what did I watch this week? I actually have quite a bit. I have a little list. So my husband and I watched Unfrosted. This is the Jerry Seinfeld movie, and it's about Pop-Tarts being invented and coming into our existence. So we thought it was entertaining. We really liked it. There is a whole lot of stars in it. But we were entertained. Is it a favorite movie of the year? No. But we were really entertained and really liked it. We got some good chuckles. And then I started One Day, which I will also mention in my vlog. I started the TV show, the new one, and I have not read the book. I have not watched the older movie with, I can't remember her name right now, Anne Hathaway. But so I started that TV show. I'm really loving it. It's giving me Normal People vibes, which I loved Normal People. So I'm liking that TV show. And then once we watched Unfrosted, there was something that happens in Unfrosted that made us think of watching Madmen. So we actually bought the box set. I believe it was $35 because you can never find it anywhere to watch. So $35 for the all seasons on Apple. And so we started watching that together. I love Madmen. And then the other one I watched, which I mentioned, is the 84 Charing Crossroad movie from the 80s. I loved it. I thought it was really good. And yeah, it was nice to be able to watch the movie after reading the book. And they're very similar. The movie is very similar to the book. The letters sometimes are read verbatim. So I really enjoyed that. For what did I do this week? Let's see. I think since the last time I checked in with you, we had dinner out with my two stepsons. So that was really nice. We went to a Polish restaurant in Minneapolis. I think I do show some in my last vlog about that. And then we played trivia on Monday. Didn't do very well. And then, I was thrashing the lawn. I've never done that before. It's kind of like raking, and I got a huge blister on my thumb. I'm like, I only did half the lawn. I'm like, I'm done. No, our lawn's fine. And then plans for this week. Well, today is Mother's Day. We've already gone for a walk, and I went to look for some shoes, which I didn't find. And right now I'm just doing some YouTube stuff. And then my stepson should be here fairly soon, and we're going to go shopping for him. And then grill some ribeyes here at home and have a nice relaxing evening at home. And I think that's all I have to share with you guys. And I hope you guys have a great week. Let me know if you've read anything great recently or watched anything great. And I will check in with you soon. Have a great week.